Welcome back to Lifting the Lid, the podcast where we spill the tea on the influencer industry. I am back with Lucy and Sarah, and my name is Verity, and I did it differently this time.
Whoa!
Okay.
We love that.
Makes it interesting.
Yeah. So, guys, we're 1 week away from TVH IRL, and I'm so excited.
So exciting.
And by the time this comes out, we will have announced our guests.
I'm so excited about our guests. Like, I feel we've smashed it.
I'm truly floored.
Me too.
I don't have the full breakdown. I know some of them, so you need to give me the reveal and then I can be shocked.
Okay, so the event is starting off with a keynote from me about how to write a creative strategy.
Wow!
We'll get our
First
notebooks
guest,
out.
yeah.
I've
Oh my
definitely not
God.
heard that before.
Yeah. And then we go onto a panel with our king of finance, Oz.
Absolutely.
I didn't know you were going to say that. I was like,
he's
the
not the
king.
man in finance anymore. He's
king
the
of
king of
finance.
finance.
The king of finance.
He's our queen of finance, let's be
Yeah,
honest.
Yeah.
he's
He's
our
a
queen.
queen.
He is going to be on a panel with Rachel Harris, accountant she.
Legend.
A serious slay. And they're going to be talking about how to make 2026 your best financial year yet as a creator. So they're going to be taking us through forecasting, their thoughts on profits, P&Ls,
Yeah.
all of those sorts of things.
I feel
Gonna be
like
so
that's
useful.
stuff, though, that sounds like it would be so dead. But if anyone can make it interesting, it's these guys. They know how to explain these kind of things in a way that is engaging and actually makes you want to listen.
So that is panel 1. And panel 2 is about how to scale your creative business into a 6-figure brand.
Nice.
Our first panelist is
Drum roll.
Jade Beason.
So cool.
So a marketing expert consultant.
Legend.
I've watched her for ages, and actually Lucy Munns was like, I'm going to be high-key fangirling.
Oh,
So
I
I've watched her
love
for
that.
ages. I feel like she's going to bring so much expertise as a creator herself, who is an expert in marketing.
She's got like both sides, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
Exactly. The second panelist is, drumroll please, Grace Andrews.
Wow.
I
a
didn't know
true
this
icon.
one.
Yeah,
So
she's-
cool.
That's amazing.
She's like just incredible. Like she's obviously worked with Stephen on Diary of a CEO.
Stephen Bartlett, really?
And she's going to give so much insight. She's obviously
Yeah.
now on the creator side herself. She's building her business as a creator entrepreneur. And she's doing incredible things. So I feel like she's going to add so much value as well.
I'm
Definitely.
excited to pick her brain.
Yeah.
Same.
And then the third panelist on that panel, drumroll please, is Hannah Holland.
Woo!
Amazing.
Who is obviously the founder and director of HLD. I don't know if she uses the term director, maybe it's CEO.
I think she does.
Does she? Founder and director. And obviously GK Barry. She's like worked with GK Barry for pretty much, I think GK Barry's whole career, I think.
Yeah.
Basically.
She's
Yeah.
done amazing things.
What they've done getting GK Barry into the like commercial media space is so cool.
insane.
She's
Yeah.
going to give such good insight on that, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be sick.
She's just brilliant. Like, I mean, Grace and Hannah, I love hanging out with. They're just brilliant people. And Jade, I haven't actually properly hung out with yet, but next week she's coming to the Founders Retreat. So I'm going to be
lovely.
properly hanging out with her before the event.
Nice
which will be really
bonding
cool.
time.
That's so fun.
Guys, last night I finally got time to catch up on the Molly May documentary, which was just quite a roller coaster ride. So what, this is season 2
Yes.
of Behind It All. I also find it wild that they call it a documentary, not a reality TV show, but I feel like that's a whole other kettle of fish.
Yeah, we can unpack that at a different time.
I've not watched it yet. I really want to.
Verity.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I feel there's a lot to unpack here. There's been so much chatter online about so many different things. And I think it's really interesting. I was saying to my friend the other day, obviously I've followed Molly May for a long time. I love watching her vlogs. I love her content. I love what she does. But for me, this season in particular, I found really interesting from the point of view of being a manager. Like, I feel like I got a whole other like layer to it that people who don't work as managers might not have got, because there was a lot more intel on the relationship between Molly and Fran. Have you
Yeah.
seen all the stuff on LinkedIn about Molly lying about the content?
Yeah, I thought that when I was watching it. So for context, Verity, basically Molly was going to North Wales, represent. Just having a great
She
time.
was acting like she was going to like Outer Mongolia where there was no shops ever and no
I know.
post.
Yeah, I did watch that and I was like, it's just Wales, but it's fine. She was, and also her Airbnb looked amazing.
Oh,
as
it
a
looks
side note.
incredible. I wanna go there.
Like literally like beachfront.
Ooh,
Obviously it's Molly
lovely.
May. She's going to have a phenomenal Airbnb. But anyway, so she's going to North Wales and Fran in the car was like, had called her and she was like, make sure that you film that content. And she was like, yeah, we'll do. Anyway, she sort of shuts off her phone. And then basically in a later scene, Fran's like, where is the content? Like, it's not been delivered. And then she was like, oh, I lied. Like, I haven't done it. Like, I've not got the product with me. It's not going to happen. And she admitted that she had told a porcupine, basically.
And she lied to Fran when Fran called in the car and she was like, yeah, I'll film it. She knew at that point she didn't
Yeah.
have the product. And then when it got to that was, I'm guessing, maybe the Friday. Then it got to the Sunday evening. The content's meant to go live on the Monday. Fran's like, where's the content? Molly's like, I've not filmed it.
Yeah.
I've not got the product. I lied to you.
I can see why this has been popping off on LinkedIn.
Yeah. And I thought I've seen so many posts of people being like, actually, this is such an important conversation within the industry to have, of like, if Molly had just been honest to Fran on the Friday or whatever day it was and said, I've messed up. I don't have the product. I actually need this weekend to switch off. Things are getting on top of me. I'm not feeling great. Fran would have been able to manage that so much better with the brand.
Yeah.
And actually there'd be way less stress. Like the brand would probably have understood, really, because they're people.
Because it was Look Fantastic, I think, and she works with them.
I didn't get the context of what brand it was.
I think it was Look Fantastic. It was definitely a brand that I believe she's worked with like multiple times. So you would imagine there's like a really strong relationship there. The only thing I feel a little bit bad about is like, I understand why on LinkedIn everyone's popping off being like, oh my God, that's outrageous that she lied to her manager. Like, it's so bad, which I do agree. Like, it put Fran in a rubbish situation.
Yeah.
Fran was just left in the dark, like had been calling Molly all weekend, been being aired. Which meant Fran couldn't do her job because she couldn't communicate with the brand because she wasn't being communicated with. But also, I do see it from Molly's perspective, from the creator perspective. I feel like it was clear that the reason Molly lied was because she didn't want to let Fran down, or because she was embarrassed that she hadn't done the work. And I think it's never the right decision, but I think like when you look at it from a human perspective, she was so stressed, she felt guilty. That's why she lied. It doesn't justify it, but you can like see the human element to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I say popping off on LinkedIn, I almost mean I can just see it being a conversation starter.
100%.
There's lots of different things going on. And in this case, Fran obviously was on the case, was chasing on the content, knew the content was due. And, you know, Molly had her own human circumstances going on, which is why the content was late.
And I think Molly held her hands up as well.
Oh, yeah, she
And
knew.
She did say afterwards, she was like, I hold my hands up, like, I shouldn't have lied. That put you in a rubbish situation. And I think, obviously, with Molly, it's different because Fran only manages Molly and Zoe. But I feel like one thing that we speak a lot about with the talent that we manage is like the overall reputation of like TBH as a whole. When you're part of an agency, your actions can impact on the wider agency. And I think one thing that it's like if I negotiate something badly or I represent TBH badly, that reflects on the whole agency. And it's much like that with the creator. If a creator puts us in a really bad situation by lying to us or not delivering content on time, meaning that we have to have a uncomfortable conversation with a brand, it can impact other relationships for like future campaigns because of that. And I think it can be a really sticky situation, but I just think the truth is always the right way. Like, and if you have all of the information, you can make the best of a bad situation. But if you're kept in the dark, you literally can't do anything.
Yeah. That's why I rate that it's been included, like the whole segment, to be honest, because I hope this encourages creators that do have management to just be honest and be like, you know what, I can't do it. Like, I can't do that in those timelines, because actually it puts everyone in a better position. Like, the brand are only human at the end of the day. And if, you know, most likely the management will be able to have a conversation with the brand rep and be like, they're not going to be able to do it because of these reasons. And they'll be like, oh, that's a bit difficult. But you know what? If it can't get done, it can't get done.
Yeah,
like,
and then the brand can look to find a solution.
Yeah.
If it's a case of like, what's the worst case scenario there? Fran goes to the brand and says she can't make it happen. She's forgotten the product. Can you get the product couriered how do I say that? Couriered to her. And then the answer is no. Okay, we're really sorry. We're going to have to step back from this campaign because we won't be able to, we don't want to let you down. Then the brand have the ability to find a new creator. Yes, you lose out on the fee for that campaign, but you've maintained a positive relationship, which then means you will hopefully work with the brand again and like make up that fee elsewhere.
if a creator has been late, like in situations, because obviously it does happen, these things do happen. I've never personally felt an irritability or an anger from the brand side towards me. And like, to be honest, ever to the creator, it's always just been like, this is frustrating.
Yeah.
And I felt that it's been quite clear that like, it's not, we're sort of the middlemen. And I think agencies get it more than brands do. Maybe.
Interesting. I think it's interesting because it's like, it's no one should be to blame, right? You're a team, I believe, as a manager and a talent. It's not anyone's fault. Like if the talent communicates to the manager that they can't do something on time and the manager doesn't communicate that to the brand, that's on the manager.
Yeah.
But if the talent doesn't communicate anything to the manager and the manager communicates to the brand, I'm really sorry, I'm trying to get through to them, they're still managing that situation.
Yeah.
And I think it's about working as a team. It's not about Fran blaming Molly or Molly blaming Fran or the brand blaming anyone. It's like, how can we all work together as a team to get the outcome that we want? Like, we want our talent to be successful on this campaign. Like, we want to make a good relationship with the brand. So I feel like it's not about like pointing the finger and blaming someone. It's like, let's all just talk about this and find a solution. Let's get on the phone, as Verity Park would say.
100%.
Get on the call with them and say, I'm so sorry because of XYZ reason. This is why the content's late. Or I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get through to Sonia at the moment. I'm calling, I've messaged. I will promise I will let you know as soon as there's an update. You're keeping that relationship as sweet as possible with the information that you've got.
Because often I do think the brand or the agency just needs to know that it's
In process.
yeah, and that they're just being answered.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, we also get frustrated when we're chasing up about a negotiation and we're not getting responses, you know? Like, it's so normal. And I think sometimes just being told, I'm on the case, I don't have an answer for you now, but it's coming, is actually better than
What do people
nothing.
say? I used to say to you guys, and I've forgotten it. It's like, I don't know is an answer or something like that. Or no, it's like...
No, I think it was something to do with that. It's like, I don't know. It's like going back to them being like, I actually have no concrete answer for you, but here's me telling you that I don't have a concrete answer. So at least you know that I don't have a concrete answer.
It's like it works both ways. If we ignore the talent about things, we all have it. We have crazy busy days where, let's say you're not on your WhatsApp as much as you want to be. Like, I'll often message my talent and be like, hey, I've got this. It's with me. I'm back to back all day. I promise I'll get back to you by end of day. It's like, you know that person's acknowledged that you're waiting for something.
Yeah.
I think it's that acknowledgement. It's that respect of, I appreciate you're waiting for something. I promise it's on my radar. I will come back to you. And
I do think that's where Molly, I appreciate that she acknowledged she should have said to Fran, it's not coming. Because that would have just nipped it all in the bud.
At least Fran knew what was
100%.
going on.
But then none of us are perfect, and ultimately, like, these things happen. And I really
Yeah.
like that they're open to show that, because I think ultimately not everything runs perfectly the whole time, and you could easily just like, actually cut that out because that makes me look bad, you know?
I do agree. And like, I think what I found interesting is how much backlash Molly's gotten off of reacting stressed to that, which like I understand, right? Like, I'm not comparing what she's doing to being a doctor in A&E. Like, that is not what I'm doing at all. It's
and I
so
don't think
different.
she would do that either.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. I don't think she was putting that in the documentary and thinking, oh my gosh, this is like going to show people how stressful my life is. I think it was just showing the reality of like, you can actually get stressed if you're a content creator. Like, it's all relative. And like, at that moment, she was obviously dealing with personal things behind the scenes and, you know, having a toddler and multitasking as a mum. And that was a stressful moment. And I rated the fact that she kept that in.
I think it's different type of stress, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
not, I think the stress of being a content creator is being always on and like having people's eyes on you the whole time. And I think for her, probably that her workload is probably intense, because actually every single person and their dog wants to work with her. So you want to maximize that opportunity. Like, it's an incredible commercial opportunity. So why wouldn't you maximize the most of your time? But ultimately that is going to become stressful, and you do need time away from that.
And you stress about things when you care about them. I think that's the thing. It's like, sometimes, like, I don't know, when I speak to my friends who are doctors or whatever, and if I'm like saying I've had a stressful day at work, like, I sometimes feel like, oh God, I feel a bit guilty. It's like, actually, no, like, everyone's stress is relevant to like how they're working and what they're doing, and you stress about things because you care about them and you want to do a good job. And if something hasn't gone quite how you want it to, that's allowed to be stressful because you wanted it to go well.
I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. You're a creator, then you're a business owner. It might not feel like it when you're editing at midnight or sending that final brand email, but you're running something real. And like any other business, you need systems that make it easier to grow. I've spoken to so many creators, and the thing that can be overwhelming is the business side. Things like setting up a bank account, tracking payments, staying on top of invoices, all the stuff that no one talks about, the boring stuff that genuinely matters if you want to build something sustainable. And that is where tools like Tide come in. With Tide, you can register your business and open a free business bank account at the same time. Get approved within 24 hours and run everything: invoices, payment links, support, straight from the app. It just makes running your creative business smoother, so you can focus on creating, not just chasing admin. Honestly, I wish I'd had Tide as soon as I started, because having the right setup behind you changes how you see yourself. You stop with the imposter syndrome and start acting like a business owner. So if you want to try it out, use my code Verity50 via the link in my show notes and get £50 cash back when you spend £100. Because you are a business and it's time your banking reflected that.
Lifting the lid. We get better every time.
Do you think? I don't
phenomenal.
think that was our absolute best.
Oh,
No, I think the
really?
last time was better, but I think, with some more singing lessons.
Singing
Yeah,
training.
absolutely.
Hadn't warmed up today.
No.
And I bring the vocals for the group.
Yes, we do. Oh my gosh, we're just backing, simply.
Okay, so producer Sophia has just sent through a confession.
Okay.
Lucy, do you want to read this one?
Yeah. So I found myself in a bit of a tricky situation and I wondered if you girls could help. So to give you a bit of context, I was booked to go on a brand trip next week with one of my dream brands to Ibiza. I was so excited and I couldn't wait because the rest of the guest list sounds incredible. However, I just found out that I've been dropped. Now I get it, things happen, budgets change, and it's not the end of the world. However, I've heard through the grapevine that I've been replaced. A friend of a friend was talking to me about their other friend who's going on this brand trip and she's just been confirmed and she was so excited and she told me it's in Ibiza. I did a little bit of stalking and I found out that this creator has 200,000 more followers than me and I've really started to get in my head. Do you think I've been dropped because they found a better option or do you think it's something else?
That's so sad. Get
That
the
is really
violins out.
Horrible.
Oh, is that bad?
That sounds like you're being sarcastic.
I genuinely didn't mean that in an insincere way. I just didn't know. I thought this was
tiny
funny.
violins is like, oh, I gotta get a
Oh,
tiny
is
violin out.
it?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
No,
what am I
that
like?
is really sad.
That's
and
so sad.
I
Okay,
can understand
let's-
why you're getting in your head, but I feel we need to unpack it.
Yeah, we do need to unpack
do.
it. Okay, so it's to Ibiza. So she's not 100% sure she's been replaced, but she believes because of the timing and the trip. But I guess it's...
How many trips are happening to Ibiza with brands in October?
But I guess it must
not
be
that
the
many.
same brand. Like to write in, I think it's pretty concrete that she knows that Susan is replacing Sonia. Do you know what I mean? Like she
Yeah.
knows that is the case.
I think you firstly got to rewind back and just check and think, okay, there is a possibility that this creator, maybe took a bit longer to book onto the campaign. And yes, they've come onto the
Yes.
campaign later, but it might not be that you've been replaced. It might just be that that creator was always going, but maybe wasn't confirmed until later. Because I think it's always better to, even for your own mental health, just assume the best.
Yes.
Even though it's so easy, and especially with these situations, because it does feel so personal to take it in that way, in the way that maybe makes you feel not so good, when actually that might not be the reality.
Yeah, and we always say like size doesn't matter. So like really, whilst this other person might have a bigger following than you, like there might be other reasons why it didn't go ahead, the brand didn't go ahead with you. Maybe, I don't know, they decided to go in a different direction, or like Verity said, they might have been in conversations with this other person and actually you were the replacement. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so much
Yeah.
more to it. And I think it's that phrase of like water the grass. Oh, I can never get this
I know
right.
what you mean. Water
think it's
the
water the
grass where you are and it will grow.
Yeah, but like
Something like
the
that.
grass is green where you water it. So like if
Yes.
you,
Well done.
that's the one. So if you're watering Susan's grass, like you're going to be gassing up Susan, but what about you? Like you've got a lot to offer, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And like focus on that, focus on the brands that are putting in the time and effort with you.
I feel like I would want to know kind of what stage of the confirmation it was at. Like, had you been like locked in, flights booked, itinerary shared, or were you just in like firm conversations about it? Because if it was the case of flights booked, itinerary shared, and then they've pulled out, there has to be a reason. And I would say you are within your rights to ask, not in a confrontational way, just from a point of view of wanting to understand. Like, I was so excited to come on this trip. Like, I'm obviously super disappointed that I'm not going to be able to get to go anymore. Like, it would be great just to get some context just for my future understanding on what's caused the change. Like, I don't know, one of the first things that came to my mind is, could it be that you have posted a massive campaign or launched an ambassadorship that week with a direct competitor? And maybe that's freaked them out and they've thought, oh, this isn't going to look organic. Like, I don't know. That was just something that came to my mind. But I think if that is the case, the brand should be upfront with you. Like, look, this is a rubbish situation. We're really sorry. Like, this is why. Whether rightly or wrongly, I don't know. But I think, like we always say, have a conversation about it. I would say try not to think about the aspect of the other creator. Like Sarah said, just kind of think about your own position. Have a conversation with the brand. Try and understand from their perspective what's changed. And there probably is a like really genuine reason. And then just take it from there.
it does feel like whatever stage it was at, that the brand probably hasn't communicated this in the best way, to be
Yeah.
honest. Because whatever like stage, they should be upfront and just be like, look, we allocated too much budget to this person. Like, we're not able to go forward with you, or actually things have moved around. You were actually on the B list. We should have been upfront about it. Like, I do think it's on brands to be super transparent about these things, because it's so easy for creators to get in their own heads.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to leave somebody
In the dark.
wondering what
Yeah.
if. Like,
or if it wasn't actually confirmed, it should have been like,
Yeah.
we're not quite confirmed yet, but these are the potential dates, etc.,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah.
But I think on the other side of things, you've always got to think every yes now is a no later. If an opportunity comes in
Yeah.
and you say yes to it,
Yeah.
you have to say no down the line to someone
Understood.
else, because you only have so much capacity.
Comprende.
So I think, even though obviously this has largely been taken out of your hands, you having that time back
Yeah.
could be brilliant time for you to spend on creating organic content that's going to do really well. You know, resting so you have capacity to feel really creative, or have a lunch with a brand that does really lean into you. And I think you've got to think of it like that, because whilst it is really upsetting and painful, it could be that, and it will be that something bigger and better and better suited to you is going to come along.
Everything happens for a reason.
and what does Sophia and Cinzia say?
Rejection is redirection and protection.
Exactly. So feel
Good.
protected and feel redirected.
I feel like literally everything today has come back to communication. So if you're late on delivering content or you don't have the product with you, you can use that as a moment to communicate. If you feel like you've been dropped from a brand trip and you want to have a conversation with the brand about it and better understand what's going on there, pick up the phone, have a conversation. Do we feel like that's probably what we've learned then?
Yeah. I feel like, as in every single episode, Verity says, don't send an email, pick up the phone
Yeah,
pick up the
about
phone.
absolutely everything.
Pick up that phone, guys.
We need like merch of you with like two phones like either side,
my
like
God,
with your
yeah.
face on the sheet.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Lifting the Lid, and make sure to like, follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
And you can also follow us on socials, just search Lifting the Lid Pod.
And you can watch us on Spotify or YouTube.
Bye.